Mysteries to Die For welcomes our good friend Kyra Jacobs back to the morgue. Kyra is an extroverted introvert who writes of love, humor, and mystery in the Midwest and beyond. Crossover readers, her latest release was Book 3 in her romance series set in Marietta, Montana, which follows three siblings as they find unexpected happily ever afters near their sprawling cattle ranch. You can find The Rodeo Cowboy's Redemption and Kyra's full backlist at her website, KyraJacobsBooks.com. Welcome to Mysteries to Die For. See how he messes with me? I am TG Wolff, and I'm here with Jack, my piano player and producer. This is a podcast where we combine storytelling with original music to put you at the heart of a mystery. All of our stories are structured to challenge you to beat the detective to the solution. Jack and I perform these live, front to back, no breaks, no fakes, no retakes. In the world's most dangerous working environments, it can seem like everything is out to kill you. The equipment you use, the materials you work with, the very air you breathe. Stored energy is a coiled viper waiting for the right moment to lash out. Owners, manufacturers, contractors, and beyond have developed safety protocols to combat sticky. That is, stuff that can kill you. Gravity, motion, mechanical, electrical, pressure, sound, radiation, biological, chemical, temperature. This season is all about the means of murder, as the authors put our sticky detective skills to the test. This is Season 9, Stuff That Can Kill You. And this is Episode 16, where, just for you, Jack, sound is the sticky means of death. This is The Curse of the Siren Shriek by Kyra Jacobs.
And you know it's live, because at the top of the episode, you called Kyra a man.
I did not.
You did. You said she, he, or wait, no, you went he, she.
I did not.
You did.
I
Listeners,
did not.
Go back to the top. Run it back, folks.
Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo. Her
and,
latest release.
And worst of all, she is the special guest on this episode. We're going to be interviewing her at the very end. And so she knows you just lied. She knows. She can go back. In fact, part of what she's going to do before we even get on to do the recording is she's going to listen to this and she's going to hear you call her a man. And then also me stop and talk about it for 5 minutes straight.
Do you know what we need? We need a baseline.
What?
This story takes place on a cruise ship.
Does it? Okay, that doesn't seem very accordion-y.
I was just going to say, I know what your favorite is.
No, it doesn't. But what do we always have on cruise lines? Congas. Let's see what we have in the drum set section. Actually, that sounds annoying as all get out. And the drum sets, by the way, are exactly what you imagine, like a... That was
not what I imagined.
No? Oh. Drum set on a keyboard, every single note's a different instrument. How do you feel about that for a drum line?
I think we wish we had a video right now. He's really jamming to these, whatever he's doing. Well, I certainly can't read to that.
Oh, well, okay, fine. We'll pick something more normal. Let's go in the bass section and go pick one out. Dude, if this was like a vampire story, oh my gosh. Like the vampire Lestat, isn't that like a thing?
Yes.
Maybe not, though. Maybe...
You'll have to save that for our Halloween edition. Write that down.
Oh, bass always sounds so like...
It never sounds bassy to me. I don't know. It sounds, I guess, too techno for me when I think of bass.
Here we go. Let me turn it up a little bit. You know, very bassy.
That is very bassy. Now he's got me swaying.
Whoa, the words are blurry.
The last one to the Breakfast Club. I don't know if I can read its rhythm. I'm going to try. I walked into the control room on Tuesday, July 2nd, eager to hear the latest results from our ongoing clinical study. Last week, Operation Listen Yourself Thin had results that exceeded even my unwavering optimism. 20 voluntary college-age participants living in a stress-free, controlled environment during 1 month of their summer break, doing whatever they pleased on our small rented cruise ship, so long as they kept our supplied listening device on their person and playing for 8 hours a day. Now, all 20 had soothing music playing for the duration. 17 had an additional, almost inaudible, calm, definitely undiscernible, consistent message about their hunger, or lack thereof. The goal? To prove that soft-spoken, consistent reminders could be an effective catalyst for behavioral change and weight loss without the need for drugs or dangerously radical lifestyle changes. Basically, subliminal messages to guide mind over matter. A successful study would lead to larger trials, corporate backing for improved and expanded technology, and my name, Professor Amelia Blanzinski, finally, printed in all the medical journals I'd ever dreamed of appearing in. This study was going to put me on the map. I could feel it. Across the room, my decade-long administrative assistant, Savannah Crispin, was studying a bank of monitors. 20 screens displayed feeds throughout the small cruise ship, which we had secured for the experiment. An aging vessel with more than sufficient amenities and a few voyages shy of retirement. Vanna turned at the sound of my approaching footsteps. "Good morning, Amelia," she said, and motioned toward a steaming travel cup perched on the edge of a nearby desk. Yes, I'd already had a cup and a half in my quarters before making my way to the control room. But who was I to turn down more caffeine? I lifted the offered drink and inhaled deeply, allowing the clove-infused aroma to wash over my senses. My best days always started with a hot chai tea latte. Vanna, you're a saint. Did our participants behave themselves last night? Of course I am. She had checked her clipboard, but not before giving me a side eye. And yes, according to the overnight security detail, it appeared everything remained quiet last night. Relief washed over me. Loud parties had formed and gotten out of hand multiple times this past week, as participants' interaction had increased. I'd hoped that disallowing the consumption of alcohol and recreational drugs would keep nightly behaviors in check. But according to Vanna, there had been something else in the air that I hadn't thought to ban. Cupid's arrow. Heaven help me, but that needed to stop. The last thing I needed was for my project to be dubbed the Love Boat. Glad to hear. I took a careful sip of chai and smiled. She'd ordered it with an extra shot of espresso, which meant even though Vanna lived to chastise me for staying up and working too late, she didn't fully condemn me for it. Not that it would change anything. As a single again, 45-year-old female, professional, determined to leave my mark in the scientific community despite my prior close but not quite successful projects, I never let her words sink too deep. Science was my first love, and always would be. My brain just wasn't wired to turn its thinking side off at quitting time. Is the weigh-in still planned for 9? I asked. Actually, she said, motioning toward one of the nearest TV monitors, it's already started. I glanced at the wall clock across from us. 8:35 a.m. My gaze shifted to the monitors. Sure enough, A relatively orderly line had indeed formed outside the dining room. Weigh-in always happened prior to breakfast being served. A trill of excitement ran through my veins. The first few days of the study, the average participant wake-up time was 10:30 in the morning, Jack, with a handful of people sleeping closer to noon, Victor. This seemed
Okay. Not necessary.
This seemed terribly late to me. But then, these were college kids on a month-long cruise and getting paid to be there. Late sleep-ins, I had been warned, were to be expected, which is why I add a message into our clinical broadcast before leaving port about the health benefits of early to bed and early to rise. The message hadn't appeared to be doing much to our participants until today. The excitement in my chest grew. A subtle suggestion about waking earlier was generating this kind of results. What would the accompanying message about avoiding snacking in between meals and consuming smaller quantities do? Perhaps today would be finally the day where a full 17 participants, those whom I assume were receiving the targeted message, would show a weight deficit. We'd been so close these last few days of week 2, with only 5 participants staying at or above their original weight. See? I've been right to ignore those ridiculous anonymous letters sent to my office the 2 weeks before we set sail, warning of some silly wives' tale about some mythical siren who lived in the waters we would travel through, whose shriek could trigger radical, unpredictable behaviors in the ship's passengers.
Hey, what's the name of the story again?
Curse of the Siren Shriek.
I wonder if that is relevant to the story.
Stuff and nonsense is all it was.
Clearly.
Probably someone who was jealous that they hadn't come up with this idea first, and who was trying to scare me into postponing. I was glad we hadn't, since these results were on the verge of becoming pure, scientific gold. Without warning, a thunderous, ear-splitting audio feedback screech erupted from the ship's PA system. Vanna and we covered our ears, but it did little good. The sound was like nails on the chalkboard of our very souls. Fearful the noise could harm our participants, I hurried for the PA's main panel on the wall to my left. But just as I reached it, the room fell silent. I turned back to find Vanna slowly straightening, her face pale. What was that?" she asked. At least I think that's what she asked. My ears still rang from the brief but horrendous sound. Thankfully, the ringing dulled with each passing second. I checked the surveillance monitors and was relieved to see the participants, though looking a little skittish, all seemed to be upright and talking amongst themselves. What could have caused that feedback to happen? My gaze shifted back to the PA's control panel. Gone was the orange glow of its power button, though a quick check of its electrical cord proved that it had indeed been plugged in. Had something inside the unit gone haywire? I turned the knob as low as it would go, and then tried to resuscitate the device. But it was no good. Either the PA system was toast, or we'd blown a circuit. And since there were no alternative accessible outlets, I couldn't easily test another without disrupting the entire control room. "Amelia," Vanna began, her voice shaky. Yes, I told her about the letters. I'd also insisted the warnings were hogwash. There was no such thing as a siren or its shriek. This was an audio malfunction and nothing more. I shook my head and turned toward the intern in our midst, Harrison Connolly, a graduate student who came highly recommended by the longest-standing member on our board, but had yet to do anything to impress me.
Connolly sounds pretty impressive already. I won't lie, guys.
Found the Easter egg on the first mention.
Uh-huh. Well, you looked me in the eyes and you went, coddling. And I was like, I wonder.
Harrison, check the electrical panel for a trip breaker. We need this working. On it, he said. Took 3 steps toward the door and then stopped. Where's the panel again? Seriously, this is the last time I brought an intern recommended by one of our board members. This kid was practically useless. Before I could say as much, Vanna stepped forward. Come on, she said, it's this way. I watched them go, then took a seat at my desk. To my delight, the weigh-in data was already appearing in our SharePoint folder. Sometimes, technology could actually be my friend. I pulled the data points into our tracking spreadsheet, eager to compare yesterday's results with that of the day before. One data point was missing. After a quick skim of the names listed, I identified Meghan Melody as the lone participant sleeping in today. I pinched the bridge of my nose. Meghan was a sweet kid, 22 and cute as a button, but she was also one of 2 social media influencers that we allowed into the study. Her follower count was over 3 million on TikTok. The other influencer's follower count was over 5 million. Meghan's platform focused on emotional well-being, while Sven Skar's focused on healthy eating and workout habits. They were bound by contract not to breathe a word to their followers of either the project or their participation until after the study was complete, the results confirmed and accepted by the scientific community. I had asked the board not to approve either of their applications for fear of information getting leaked. Instead, I'd been overruled and instructed to handle each with kid gloves. But after only 2 weeks, our gloves were starting to wear pretty thin. Picked up my cell phone and I texted Vanna. Can you please see if Meghan's awake? She's the only one who hasn't weighed in yet. Will do, she texted back. My attention returned to the project's available data. Yes, the collective weight loss seemed to be increasing. In fact, so far today, all but 3 participants' weights showed decrease. Assuming 3 were in the control group, which of course I don't know who's in the control group, but if Meghan's weight had also decreased, we would be showing a comprehensive trend toward success. And if that kept up, my phone's ringtone pulled me away from my daydreaming. Vanna's name was on the screen. I answered quickly. Did you find Meghan? Yes, Vanna said, her voice unusually squeaky. Or maybe it was still my ears recovering from that god-awful sound. Great, is she headed down to weigh in? She can't, Vanna's voice cracked. Meghan is dead.
Whoa, I didn't get that coming. Meghan, what's her name again?
Meghan Melody.
Meghan Melody.
Is dead.
Uh-huh.
So, the inside joke here, the little Easter egg that Kyra planted for Jack, is that in many a season, Jack's character has been...
Yeah, why'd you make Connolly dumb, Kyra? Like, jeez, he's a whiz with the tech. Like, he could totally find a breaker or whatever he was doing. I don't remember, to be honest.
It's Detective England Connolly.
Detective England Connolly could totally find a breaker.
He would find a breaker.
Yes.
I'm not sure what he would do with it. Put his finger in it, his tongue.
He could. He's clean. Well, maybe not. All right. I wouldn't put it past him. The point is that he doesn't do any of that in his most recent escapades. Okay. He's a ghost hunter in the episode that's going to come out later this season.
Oh, can't wait to hear that one.
Yeah, it's a side gig. And apparently his nephew is, just some board member Nepo baby.
The curse.
That doesn't seem right for England, though. He's not related to anyone who can get a Nepo baby. Come on.
I don't.
England was birthed from a flower in the woods, you know?
This can't be happening, I said for the 100th time, willing it to be true as I paced the floor of Meghan's room. Are you sure there's no pulse? Vanna, a CNA in her previous career, nodded solemnly. She's still fairly warm, though, so she hasn't been gone long. Her face is so blue, Harrison whispered from a nearby chair, knees pulled into his chest. It was true. Poor Meghan's face was blue, her lips purple. She lay stomach down on the floor, one arm reaching toward her purse, also on the floor, its contents scattered. An overdose? A robbery? A case of really bad seasickness? Scenario after scenario whirled through my head. Amelia, you know what this means, Vanna said, rising from her place beside the body. No, I shook my head, knowing where the forever rule follower was going. I refused to follow cruise ship protocol. This was my career on the line, my livelihood. We are not turning back. But her family, Vanna implored. We need to let them know. And we will, I insisted. 2 more weeks. That's all I needed. But not yet. Hell, we don't even know what happened to her. Harrison stopped rocking, his eyes wider. What if it was the curse? The what? I asked, throwing Vanna a subtle side eye. She had spilled the beans about the letters. Harrison sat up a little taller. The ship's captain, he warned me about it while we were boarding. The curse of the Siren Shriek. Legend has it that if a ship sails too close to the treasure remaining on the other ships that she sunk, the Siren will unleash her lethal shriek. And you believed the story. I rolled my eyes for effect. Although, him knowing the tale made me wonder if he or even the captain could have been behind those letters. Harrison shrugged. You heard the noise too, right? Audio feedback, nothing more. We can have the handyman look into it after breakfast. I had a hand up to stop Vanna from jumping in, and we could tell her family once we returned to land. Telling them sooner won't bring her back. She shook her head. But if the board finds out, they'll shut. They'll be glad we didn't waste time and money turning the ship around or delaying the project without answers. And we do need answers. Data. To make logical decisions on our next steps. Harrison, go and find Dr. Rudison. He's probably already in the dining room. Tell him I need his assistance with a participant. And don't say anything more to him or anyone else. No one can know about this just yet. Got it? He nodded and hurried off, leaving me and Vanna alone with Meghan. I don't like this, Vanna said softly, her gaze averted from the deceased. We don't know how she died, or why. Put a hand on her shoulder. I don't like it either, I swear. But damn it, Van, we've worked so hard to get here. I can't just walk away, not without good reason. Her brows lifted. Let's wait to hear what the doctor says. If this is all from an overdose or natural causes, maybe some illness or condition she hadn't disclosed, then that shouldn't stop us from continuing. Vanna's gaze swept to Meghan, still blue and lying on the floor. And if it's not what the doctor finds, then we protect the others and turn the ship around, I said, praying it wouldn't come to that. Dr. Rudison arrived alongside Harrison 10 minutes later. The portly, middle-aged man, looking less than pleased at having his first meal of the day so rudely interrupted. Once he saw the condition of the patient, he'd been called to assist. However, irritation gave way to professionalism. After gathering what little information we could offer him and doing a cursory inspection of Meghan where she lay, He shared that his professional opinion was that she died from anaphylactic shock, due to what he presumed was some kind of allergic reaction. Her throat had swollen shut. Do we know if Miss Melody had any food or drug allergies? He asked. I looked to Vanna. Are we able to access her application on our phones to check for that? No need, she said, pointing to Meghan's wrist. Isn't that an allergy bracelet? Dr. Rudison nodded as he lifted her wrist. Says she has a peanut allergy. I do recall seeing that we had a handful of participants with food allergies, I assured him. Accommodations were made for each with the kitchen staff briefed on the requirements. So it wasn't the curse? Asked Harrison. Not unless this so-called curse conjured bags of complimentary nuts. The doctor exchanged a look with us that questioned the kid's mental capacity. We should talk with your kitchen staff, make sure that nothing was given to Miss Melody that shouldn't have been. Of course, I said, hoping like hell there hadn't been a mix-up in the kitchen. As the doctor rose to his feet, I looked around the room for any remnants of prior meals. A takeout cup sat on the desk by her tiny balcony. Droplets of condensation gathered at its base. Beside it sat an open, emptied packet of clearly marked peanut butter. Vanna followed my gaze and crossed the room to take a closer look. She lifted the cup and removed its plastic lid. Milkshake. Maybe she kept it in her mini fridge from the dessert bar last night. She sniffed its contents and grimaced. Definitely smells like peanut butter. I ran a hand into my hair. Why would someone with a food allergy knowingly add it to their drink? Well, they wouldn't. Not unless they had a death wish, Dr. Rudison muttered. Harrison's eyes widened. Or the Siren Shriek made them do it. Beside him, Vanna bit her lower lip. There is no curse, I insisted. But we will get to the bottom of this, for Meghan's sake.
Will we, though?
Okay, so Meghan is found dead in her stateroom.
Meghan is dead in her country room.
Blue lips.
Pink eyes.
Peanut butter breath.
Just like my puppy. She got peanut butter on the breath day and night. Although we just ran out of peanut butter. It's been a big issue in the household, let me tell you what.
Fruit versus macaroni.
You got some great chapter names this episode. Congrats.
Harrison distracted the other participants while Vanna and Dr. Rudison discreetly moved Meghan's body to a walk-in freezer at the back of the ship.
Oh, no.
Concealed in a wheeled laundry cart. That left me time to go and confront the kitchen staff. They were a motley bunch, skin in various shades of caramel. Some had dreadlocks, most had tattoos. None wore a smile when I asked about peanut butter. No way, said Al, the head chef, crossing his thick arms over his chest. We take allergies seriously down here. If someone has a food allergy in a group this small, we leave the ingredient back on shore and only bring along dietitian-approved substitutes. Then how do you explain this? I asked, holding up the empty peanut butter container. A gasp rang out from the kitchen staff. Do you really think we would breathe something like that on the ship? Demanded Caroline, a feisty 30-something who seemed to be one of the participants' favorite staff members. They loved to joke with her, and she loved to dish it right back. I looked at the packet. I mean, if someone needed a fix. No way, Elle insisted. That's Peter Pan. We only ever serve Jif. The collective staff nodded. Damn. I stepped in that one. Sorry, I'm a scientist, not a chef. But if it's worth anything, I've always been a Jif girl myself. What's this all about anyway? Asked Caroline. You didn't really come all the way down here to lecture us about leaving condiment packages where people could get to them, did you? No, I said, weighing my options. Tell them Meghan was dead or lie and say she was gravely ill? Because lies went against scientific methods. I raised the packet higher. A girl is dead because of this. Another collective gasp rang out. Who? Al asked. Meghan Melody. I raised my cell phone to show them all a picture that Vanna had sent me to take from her intake file. And while we aren't 100% sure yet that's what caused her death, we do know she had a food allergy, and that empty packet was found near her drink. Hell, any one of your little science experiments could have brought that aboard in their luggage. Caroline looked to the others on a snort, and yet they always come pointing the fingers at us. I shrugged, trying to play off my growing anxiety. I needed to keep the staff happy for 2 more weeks. Listen, I'm all about collecting data and analyzing it before passing blame. You were my first stop because food seems to be involved. So if you want to help me point it in someone else's direction, I'm all ears. A scrawny busboy at the edge of the group spoke up. You should talk to Peaches and Mango. Who? I asked, those names not ringing a bell. Caroline's frown turned into a conspiratorial grin as she gave Scrawny a fist bump. Oh, you know that's right, baby. At my confused look, she shook her head and laughed. Peaches and Mango, that couple that always sit under the awning beside the main pool because they're so pale, and they insist they're trying not to get sunburnt. She's always in a peach-colored bikini, him in navy board shorts with mango fruit pattern. Okay, I said. So why am I looking for them? It was Al's turn to smirk. Let's just say that little Meghan Macaroni might have been craving fruit salad and snuck into Mango's room last night after Peaches left. Yeah, added Caroline, only Peaches didn't stay in her own room for long. She came out looking for him just as we were cleaning up the drink station. When she heard who Mango had disappeared with, she was hot. Hot? I asked. Dressed up? No, Professor, chastised Caroline. Hot, like pissed. We heard the shouting from clear down the hall. Scrawny nodded. My lips to God's ear, Peaches yelled, I could kill both of you right now. Then we heard a door slam and her storm off. Mango came out of the room in his boxers and sprinted down the hall after her. I pinched the bridge of my nose. Damn 20-something hormones. If word about this got out, and Meghan's death was some twisted lover's quarrel, my project would be dubbed the Love Boat, and its results never taken seriously. Did anyone see either of them after that? Al nodded. He just came into the dining room just before midnight, looking for milkshakes to take back to their room, smiling from ear to ear. My guess? Mango hit 2 jackpots last night. Only one survived, though, I thought. Yeah, and she was sitting in his lap at breakfast, making the whole room know who he was. Caroline rolled her eyes. Who cares if the guy had a bazillion followers on TikTok? Flashbulb. A light bulb flashed in my head. Mango was Sven, the other social media influencer. Damn it. Why had no one listened to me when I warned the influencers would be trouble? I looked into the kitchen to the staff and said, Thank you for the information. Truly. Sounds like I have to have a go conversation with the lovebirds. Oh, honey, Caroline purred. Love ain't got nothing to do with it. Behind them, I spied Harrison and Vanna conversing in the hall across from us. I promised to keep the kitchen staff updated on my findings and turned to go. That's when another blast of skull-crushing sound hit the ship. Everyone clapped their hands over their ears, desperate to block the noise. Just like before, it was over almost as soon as it had started. Even so, it left us all momentarily stunned as our eardrums recovered from the abuse. By the time I reached Harrison and Vanna, Harrison was white as a ghost. I'm telling you, it's the curse, he cried. We have to turn the ship around before anyone else gets hurt. Vanna stood behind him, giving me a pointed look. Good grief, was she really buying into this too? Put a hand on our intern's shoulder and delivered a message that I hope would ease both their anxieties. Listen to me. There is no such thing as a curse, or luck, good or bad. Science and logic, that's all there ever is. Vanna swallowed hard. Of course, everything will be all right. Amelia, what did you find out from the kitchen staff? Well, first I learned that you do not imply that they would bring subpar condiment onto their ship. Peter Pan? Definitely subpar. Harrison turned his wide eyes toward us and whispered, I love Peter Pan. Interesting. I filed that away for later consideration as I turned to Vanna. And you two were right. Cupid has been shooting his arrows around the ship. Apparently, Meghan caused some drama last night by going into a room with Mango, which Peaches then found out about and threatened to kill them both for embarrassing her. Harrison flinched, or maybe swayed. The kid was definitely on the struggle bus today. Mango and Peaches? Vanna asked. Do we have any idea what their real names are? I believe Mango is Sven, the blonde social media influencer kid. From what I hear, if we find him, we'll find Peaches too. She's the one I'm worried about. A possible jilted lover? And she came into the kitchen to grab 2 late-night drinks? Milkshakes? Vanna grimaced. Any idea where we can find them now? Rumor has it they're usually under the awning by the main pool, I said. Harrison perked up. Oh yeah, that's where Sven does his daily recordings. How do you know that? I asked. He shrugged. Well, you told me to keep an eye on them and make sure they don't slip up and say too much about the project. So far, I haven't caught him or Meghan saying anything they shouldn't have. I guess I only have to worry about him now. Outside, someone screamed. In a blink, we were racing toward the sound, which took us down the short hall and out onto the path that led to the pool. Dread filled my chest. Please don't let it be Sven, I thought. Please don't let it be. Harrison stopped abruptly. Momentum sent me stumbling into his back and then ricocheting off to the side. I righted myself and craned my neck to see what had snagged everyone else's attention. There stood Sven, thank you, Jesus, who had his hands fisted in his hair. The look on his face could only be described as that of horror. I followed his gaze upward to find a young brunette lying on top of the metal awning, her body bent in unnatural angles, and a trail of blood making its way from her unmoving, open mouth. Someone get the doctor, I cried, breaking the onlookers from their silent stupor. And a ladder! The security guards, on duty, sprang into action, hurrying toward the nearest stairs. I followed, praying the poor girl would be alive when we reached her. The crowd shifted closer to the scene, slowing my progress. As I wove through the bodies, I was surprised by the chatter. Looked like she was trying to fly, said a young woman to my left. Right after that terrible noise, said a young man to my right. Maybe Harrison was right. Maybe these are cursed waters, a couple said behind me. Great. Our intern was out spreading that ridiculous rumor? I wasn't sure what was worse, his blabbering or his peers buying into it. But gossip wasn't my biggest concern at the moment. First, we needed to make sure the girl who had fallen, or flown, according to at least one observer, was alive and could be saved. If not, no, I refused to let my thoughts go there. 2 random accidents. That's all these incidents had been. They would not stop our project. I refused to let them. So now we have 2 bodies.
This is a heavily surveilled ship. I feel like, let's hop on the cameras, fellas. Come on, guys. Head back to the control room. See what happens.
You know, when you think they can just see her fly?
Are they not recording? I guess maybe they're not recording. No, they are recording.
Well, I guess.
I mean, it's a research project.
I would say, yes, they'd be recording. It's a research project.
Plus, I'm sure most of those things normally are built to record.
So would you take the deal? Would you go on a 2-month-long cruise and just no alcohol?
No. No, because they're not getting off on stops.
No, but it sounds like, ironically, for a study to control hunger, it still sounds like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Well, it has to be. Here's the thing. I think this study has many flaws in it. I was thinking about it. First of all, these aren't people who this can be affected in their daily life. They are in a new environment that they're not normally typically eating in. Not to mention, you might have people in the control group eating less because their peers in the study group are also eating less. And that's a social aspect.
That is a social aspect.
Because they're not isolated.
I was just reading an article today about, the effect of like all the GLP-1s and those trends on fast food and how people are going less and less, a combination of like more healthy habits and then of course the increase in prices.
Yeah.
So social aspects.
Yeah. No, I think because it's not very isolated, you have to like still keep in mind the society aspect. Which is what I was thinking when they said, well, all but 3 have done it. And I'm like, well, wait, aren't there more than 3 in the control group?
Nope. In this case, there are 3 in the control group.
There's only 3 in the control group?
In this story, the control group has 3.
Oh.
17. I guess what's the opposite of control group?
Variable?
I don't know.
Experimental group.
3 in the experimental group.
The folks
17.
who get stabbed.
Yeah. Caddy encounters. Peaches was dead. I slammed my fist into a nearby railing, equally sad and furious. Sad for the deceased, furious that my project's environment seemed to be spinning out of control. How was I to protect the others if I couldn't deduce what was causing participants to wind up dead? Amelia, Vanna said quietly at my side, listen to me. We have to turn back. It's not safe. I shook my head, trying to process it all. Never in my career had a project turned so dangerous. And while I wanted to believe Meghan's death could have been an accident, Peaches, whose real name was Fiona Washington, doesn't that make her an apple? God rest her soul, was a harder circumstance to swallow. General consensus from those present at the time of the fall was that it appeared that Fiona had stepped out onto the railing, smiled, jumped, spread her arms like a bird, and then plummeted 2 stories to her death. Why? Why would someone jump from that height, I asked. Or eat something they knew that could kill them, asked Vanna. Maybe they were both possessed, Harrison said in a frantic whisper, by the Siren's curse. I grabbed his shoulders. There is no curse. And you need to stop telling people that's what you think. Because curses aren't real. But our participants are, Vanna said, gently peeling my hands off Harrison. Ames, we've been through a lot over the years, but we have a duty to protect those in our care. The project is over. We have to accept it and turn the ship around. I looked out over the pool deck at the participants gathered in groups, comforting each other. The last thing in the world I wanted was for anyone else to get hurt. But a small voice in the back of my mind refused to be silent. This one had been advocating for the millions of overweight people that I dedicated this study to. The ones whose lives could be prolonged and likely improved if we could find a chemical-free way to help them lose weight and keep it off. And yet I knew without a doubt who or what had killed these 2 young women. Wait, I read that line wrong. Back up. And until I knew without a doubt who or what had killed these 2 young women, I was not giving up.
It's a Freudian slip. She meant to say that.
Not yet.
Maybe it doesn't work like that when you're reading a character.
Bring Sven to my office, I replied without meeting Vanna's gaze. Once I hear what he has to say, I'll make a decision. With Fiona taken away and quietly added to the cooler with Meghan, Vanna discreetly led Sven to the control room. I had Vanna and Harrison remain with me for 2 reasons. 1, to have witnesses of what was said, and 2, in case things got dicey. I didn't know what Sven was capable of or willing to do for the sake of getting a good story for his stupid platform. The minute he arrived, though, he collapsed into the nearest rolling chair and cried like a baby. Why did she have to go and do that? He asked between sobs. We had such a good thing going. Were you seeing one another? I asked as I handed him a box of tissues. I overheard someone say that they thought you were closer to Meghan. His shoulders fell. I had a connection with each of them. Sure, they weren't thrilled that I was seeing them both, but the world is too vast to tether myself to one soul when I had a connection with more. Meghan will probably be happy to have me to herself for a while, once she's out of the infirmary. His crying resumed. I exchanged a look with Vanna, who dragged a hand down one side of her face. Yeah, I didn't subscribe to his relationships view either, but it wasn't my place to judge. My job was to create scientific theories and put them to the test, morals of the study's subjects not included. Sven, I asked, softening my tone. The other participants said it looked like Fiona willingly jumped from that railing. Can you think of any reason why she would do that? That brought more, louder wailing. Any worry I had that this guy could be violent slipped away. Sven, the social media guru, wouldn't hurt a fly. He'd probably cry if someone did. Vanna took the seat beside him. Sven, we know this is hard for you, but we really need you to think. Was Fiona taking any kind of medication that might have caused her to hallucinate or misjudge distances? No, bro. I never saw her take anything. Heck, none of us even want to right now, which is totally weird. I always get baked with a gummy before bed. The last few nights, that hasn't even sounded good. Despite the grim circumstances, a spark of pride lit my chest. The listening devices were working. They had to be. Okay, Vanna said. Then was there a reason she might have fallen over the rail? Maybe something had her running scared. Guilt? Fear? Harrison opened his mouth. I shot him a death look to silence whatever curse baloney he was about to suggest. He wisely closed it again. Beside me, Sven sat, none the wiser. Not that I know of, he said. Sure, she felt bad about what happened with Meghan last night, but we talked it all out, you know? They were good with sharing. They promised me they were. But now... He took another fistful of tissues from the box, swiped the snot from his runny nose, and looked to the floor. Everyone liked her. Everyone. I'd never seen a person look so broken. After a long moment, he sat back in the chair, shoulders slumped, and looked toward the surveillance monitors. There was that one girl, though. She was super sweet to me, but she was kind of scary. I saw her hiss at Meghan in the line at dinner last night. Oh? Vanna met my gaze. He nodded. Yeah, come to think of it, I think her and Fiona argued at breakfast this morning. I don't know what they said, but when Fiona got to our table, her face was bright red, like an apple. I offered to go and say something to the girl, but Fiona told me not to worry about it. Just jealous, is all she said. His gaze flashed to mine. You don't think... We don't believe this was anything other than an accident, I insisted. But the more we know about what just happened, the more we can do to prevent a repeat. After another 10 minutes of gentle counseling, we had Harrison escort Sven back to his room. While they were gone, Vanna queued up the surveillance video from the night before. At 6:23 p.m., another female participant did appear to lunge toward Meghan while she was in the dinner line, her face dark and lip curled. Meghan looked taken aback but remained where she was and did not retaliate. A man came by then, his back to the camera, and led the girl away. When he turned, we were surprised to see that it was Harrison. We'll have to ask him her name when he gets back, I murmured, fast-forwarding the video to this morning's footage. Vanna nodded. Or we can just go back to the intake photos. Her name and picture would be there. Good call. We'll do that next, I said, just as we found Fiona in the breakfast line. Sure enough, the same mystery girl verbally accosted her. In this exchange, however, Fiona was less of a doormat than Meghan had been. She leaned toward the instigator and appeared to reciprocate the tongue lashing. Just when it looked like the two young women might come to blows, a man stepped into the mix and separated them. This time I didn't have to wait for him to turn toward the camera to see that it was our intern, Harrison. Frowning, I hit pause and sat back in my chair. Does it seem odd to you that Harrison just happened to appear each time this girl lashed out? Vanna pursed her lips. The timing does seem awfully convenient. I mean, I'm glad he was there to keep things from getting out of hand. But, I continued her thought, what if he was the instigator? How else would he know that these catfights were about to break out? Vanna gave me an uneasy look. We didn't do a thorough background check on him, you know, since the board was breathing down our throat to bring him aboard. Plus, with a last name like Connolly, why would we suspect him of doing any wrongdoing?
Exactly. What a good family name.
I grimaced. What if he's the one behind the door to the control room swung open and Harrison walked in. Sven's back in his room now. He begged me to take him to the infirmary to see Meghan, but I did like you asked and told him no can do. Thanks, I said. Excellent work. He looked surprised by the compliment, then shifted his gaze to the screens in front of us. Oh, wow. You think Heather Hamlet's had something to do with the two deaths? He asked, studying the screen. Too late, I realized we were still paused on the moment that he was escorting our prime suspect away from Fiona. But he didn't know we'd also seen last night's encounter. I chose to leave that out for now. We don't know. Sven told us she wasn't a fan of the two girls he'd been hanging around. Looks like you had to step in this morning to keep the peace. Yeah, she gets riled up sometimes, but I know how to talk to her. Oh? Vanna asked, her voice cracking. When did you learn that? Harrison shrugged. We were in a study group together last semester. She's got a big personality, and it can be a lot. But I'd never seen her actually hurt anyone. She just got starstruck, you know? First with Meghan and then with Sven. She told me our first night on the ship that she hoped to get close to them so that they'd help promote her podcast, Killers All Around Us, or something like that. A shiver rattled through me. Good Lord, did we have a serial killer in the making right here on this ship? And was Harrison somehow involved? There was only one way to find out. I looked to Vanna, who nodded. It was time to go and talk to Heather.
Locklear. Yeah! It's got so much cooler so quickly.
We're at the deliberation.
Oh, we are?
We are.
Okay, well, is it Heather Locklear or is it not Heather Locklear?
So Dr. Amelia Blanzinski is on the verge of a breakthrough that will rock the weight loss industry. But the deaths of Meghan Melody and Fiona Washington could set her back. She needs our help to unravel the mystery of the curse of the Siren Shriek to keep her work sailing ahead at full speed. Here are the people we've met connected to the study.
Kyra, did you purposely make it just Fiona Applegate without the gate? It's straight up Fiona Applegate.
Apple Washington. Washington apples, Fiona apples. It's apples all around.
Fiona Apple Washington. Wait, her name isn't Fiona Apple? You've just been calling her that? Crap, never mind. You confused me so hard. I was like, did she purposely? No, that's not even her name. Sorry, Kyra. Okay, you got me.
Okay, so we have Savannah, a.k.a. Vanna. I think I called her Crispin when I read her name the first time, but it's
What?
Caspin.
Who's Caspin?
That's just her last name, Vanna.
Who?
The decade-long assistant.
Oh.
Vanna.
Vanta.
We have Harrison Conley, the useless grad student.
Again, he's been pretty useful, actually, for like Heather Locklear.
Yeah. We have Sven Skars, the big social media influencer.
Yes, it is Sven, yeah.
And we have Heather Hamlets, the mega fan.
Hamlets. Multiple Hamlets? Man, I thought one Hamlet was bad enough. So indecisive. I mean, it gets annoying. It's just a whiny little,
So here is what we know.
The uncle was killed.
There's no uncle in this story.
Hamlet.
Hamlet.
So, spoiler alert for Hamlet, in case you haven't, read it in the last 4 centuries.
20 college students volunteered for a weight loss experiment. 1 month paid private cruise in exchange for listening to the program messages 8 hours a day. 17 of the students received subliminal messages, and the remaining 3 are the control group. Data from the first 2 weeks is starting to show positive results.
Dude, the party coordinator on that ship has better be good.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Because everybody's sober.
Oh, sober and just like alone on a boat. Can't get off a boat.
No wonder people are having sex.
No wonder. I mean, how are people losing weight? How are you losing weight? What else is there to do besides eat?
I don't know.
That's impressive. That's the real impressive. You made them, there's a huge incentive to eat, and you're still making them not do that. You're just torturing these kids.
With a strong study outcome, Amelia will be well positioned to seek backing for larger, more formal studies. Vanna is the voice of reason, trying to convince Amelia to end the study.
Yes.
Amelia sees her point, but can't let go of her work.
Yeah, Earhart's just, determined.
Yep. Meghan Melody, a social media influencer, was found dead after consuming peanut butter. Amelia did not want the influencer in the study, and Meghan honored her commitment and did not post about the study.
Huh. Good for Meg.
Peanut butter powder was found in Meghan's room. It was not supplied by the ship's kitchen. There's no information on where the packet came from.
Mystery peanut butter.
Fiona Washington was found dead after she leapt from a railing. Witnesses said she jumped, not that she was thrown or chased.
Huh.
Fiona had a growing relationship with Sven Skar, a larger social influencer with a focus on living healthy. Meghan had set her sights on Sven also sneaking into his room. Sven stated that the 2 women agreed to share him.
Okay. Well, we can't ask them.
No, they're both dead.
But I don't believe that for a second.
That they're both dead?
No.
That they agreed
would
to share
him. What a weird, I'd be mad at him. Actually, I think they were mad at him for a while. Anyway.
They were. Another study participant, Heather Hamlets, was captured on camera confronting both Meghan and Fiona. Harrison knows Heather from class and explains that she has an over-the-top personality and was starstruck with both Meghan and Sven. Both times, Harrison removed Heather from the confrontation.
Yeah, the through line here seems to be old Harry Boy. Or as we here in Fort Wayne would call him, Harry Balls. And, what I have wrong with Mr. Balls is more that not only is he totally convinced with the curse, but he is heavily involved in all of the people who have died.
Twice, deafening feedback came over the PA system.
Yeah.
The first time was before Meghan was found, and the second time was before Fiona leapt.
Yeah.
Amelia has not learned what caused the feedback. Harrison is convinced it's the Siren's Shriek.
Well, that's a good cover-up from the fact that he's secretly taking over their little listening devices, and he's making them play stuff that's like, eat the peanut butter, eat the peanut butter, eat the peanut butter, you know?
Weeks before the study cruise began, Amelia received letters warning of the curse and how the Shriek could cause unusual reactions.
In Harrison's handwriting.
Amelia dismissed the letters then and now.
Now and then.
All right, so what's your call, detectives and Jack?
Harry
Curse
balls.
or a more human explanation?
Harry. Good old son of Harry. Here's the dealio. He's got access to the thingy boys that are playing all the subliminal messaging. It's very clear to me that that is the only way that without the Shriek thing being real, this could be happening. So the question is more who has access to be doing that. It could be Vanta. It could be Amelia Earhart. I don't think it's her because
Amelia's not a suspect.
No, I'm clear on that front. And
she's kind of playing our detective.
She tis. And I don't see how any of the other members, even Heather, I don't really know what's going on with Heather.
We haven't really met her yet.
We haven't really met her. I don't know what's going on with her, but I don't think she's the one who's been doing it. She might be my buddy. She maybe has been getting some messaging to become like the third victim, and that this is like a side effect of it. Because clearly Harrison's ready for it. He's aware that it's going to be happening. So if this reaction is based on something that she's being told out of her little Mikey thingy, her speaker, then that would make sense. And that makes sense why he knew. So I got to say good old Harry Balls.
Okay.
Good old detective Harry Connelland. I got England was stuck in my head.
That's too funny.
Anyway, Harry Connelland.
So, quick before we go to the big reveal, as you have noticed, Mysteries to Die For is still ad-free, but we have startup memberships. So we have 3 levels of memberships: the Gravediggers Union, which is our free membership, the Cadaver Collective at $4 a month, and the Preservationist Society at $8 a month. We're starting these memberships to help pay for our real-life human authors, to keep the software going and the power flowing, and to avoid the dreaded use of ads. If you love the show but aren't ready for a commitment, you can leave us a tip and write us a witty and punny note, and we will read it live once we find it. But I think we got everything set up, so it should work. Links are in the show notes and on our website, m2d4podcast.com.
Additionally, I am doing another podcast called Unlicensed to Air, Australian radio style podcast, mostly comedy. So if you're interested, go check that out on all major streaming platforms. And we also have social media that I've been doing. So I'm very sorry about that. But if you want to go watch it, I think it's pretty funny, guys. I've been animating it and I'm not good at animating. So you can see.
So it's like so bad it's good?
It's
I have not seen your animation.
Oh, I draw stick figures, man.
It's on YouTube?
What? It's on the stuff is on social media. I put it on YouTube Shorts. I started doing that. I only have 2 on YouTube Shorts, but there's like 10 total.
And this is Unlicensed to Air.
Unlicensed to Air.
I have to say, I listened to the first 3 or 4 episodes, and then I've just gotten sidetracked. I haven't listened in a while, and I have not seen your animations.
Oh, my animations, guys, check them out, even just to make fun of me. But I'm very, I don't want to say proud, but I'm very happy with them because they amuse me heavily.
That's what it's all about, is amusing ourselves.
Yeah.
We amuse ourselves, we'll amuse other people too.
Yes. I very much enjoy it. So yeah, check out all of the stuff we're doing.
All right, so now let's go into the big reveal and see if Jack and everybody else see if you're right. This is the Shriek tolls thrice.
Heather Locklear's dead.
Vanna and I hurried down the back hall toward the participants' rooms, looking for Heather's room. All participants had been instructed to stay in their rooms after watching Fiona plummet to her death. And per our cameras and security guards, everyone had complied. Despite his admission that he knew how to talk to her, we chose to leave Harrison in the control room. I'd asked a security guard to stand outside the room in case our discussion with Heather turned suspicion to our seemingly clueless intern.
You left Harry Balls in the control room?
We did. By the way, that's spelled B-A-A-L-S.
Oh, that's really important that everyone knows that. B-A-A-L-S. We have streets named after him.
Yep.
We have Harry Ball Street.
Yep.
I love him.
I wonder about his parents.
His parents had a good sense of humor. That's all we know.
It didn't take a professional actor to fool their peers. And after 2 deaths, I was done taking unnecessary chances. Vanna had radioed security to have a guard meet us at Heather's room, while I gave Harrison strict instructions not to leave the control room while we were away. A safety precaution, I told them. We needed his eyes on the screens, watching for any more trouble. He was to text us if he observed anything out of the ordinary. The guard is waiting outside her room, I asked as we climbed to the 3rd floor. Vanna nodded. He knows to stay in the hall while we talk to her, unless we call for him, like you requested. I hadn't wanted his presence to spook her into silence. Good, I said. Let's just pray we don't need to. We continued down the hall and eventually stopped before room 313. No guard. That's odd. On a frown, Vanna pulled her cell phone from a pocket and typed a quick message. She watched her screen for a moment and then nodded. Okay, the guard said she came out of her room and insisted that she needed to go to the library. She's asthmatic and thinks she may have dropped her inhaler there. He's going with her to look. I sighed. Well, I guess we might as well join them there. The library is as good a place to talk to her as any, I suppose. We reached the end of the hall and descended 3 floors, then angled for the library. It was a beautiful space, one that I'd seen on the initial tour and hoped to spend time in during the trip, but had gotten too caught up in the nightly data uploads to allow myself to enjoy it. Vanna paused outside the door and met my gaze. Are you sure you want to do this? We could just keep everyone locked down until we get back to shore. I'm sure, I said. If she comes clean about her involvement in Meghan and Fiona's death, then we can confine her for the rest of the trip and safely complete the study. But her retort was interrupted by a thunderous shriek that roared through the ship. We clapped our hands over our ears and waited for the sound to stop, as it had before. After 10 seconds or so, the sound ended as abruptly as it started. We stood there for a moment, waiting for the ringing in our ears to subside. Are you good? I asked, testing my hearing as I spoke. Vanna nodded. I'll be glad when we're away from whatever is causing that noise.
Harry.
Me too, I said. Now let's find out what Heather has to say.
Clearly the board wants to use this as a weapon.
I waved off her disappointed look. Don't look at me like that. This is the entire reason we came here, to prove that my theory was correct. Heather could be the key to ensuring that happens. That's when it hit me. The last 2 times we heard that sound, someone had died. I met Vanna's gaze, and in an instant her thoughts had caught up with mine. Heather, we said in unison. Vanna hurried forward and yanked open the library door. I rushed inside, took 2 steps, and heard a clang behind me. I looked back over my shoulder to find the door closed again. But no Vanna. Had she fallen? Had Heather gotten hurt too? I raced back to the door and tried it, but the handle wouldn't budge. I asked you over and over to turn this damn boat around, called Vanna through the closed door. But oh no, you just had to prove your theory so you could get your name in some stupid medical journal. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, Amelia, but there are bigger things at play here than just a few college kids losing weight. Way bigger things. What are you talking about? I demanded, jerking on the door handle. Damn it, why wouldn't it move? From the hallway, Vanna laughed. You really are clueless, aren't you? Let's just say Big Pharma called Ames, and they weren't too happy with the idea of you helping everyone, quote, listen themselves thin. It was a novel idea, but you stood to cost them billions. The letters. It had been Vanna all along. How long have you been playing a double agent? I asked. She laughed. Long enough to know that I like the salary they're paying me way more than the pittance your research projects do. I couldn't argue that. Big Pharma's pockets were almost endlessly deep. My head and I considered them a bigger threat. Oh, that's right, because I assumed they had a moral compass. Who do they think they are? I yelled, furious that greedy corporations were trying to interfere with the welfare of humankind. Corporate opinion can't stop science. Our results will prove that. Except they won't, Vanna said. While you're locked away, the test results will be changed to show a failure large enough to ensure zero future findings and funding from the Foundation. At her words, panic set in. I banged on the door, frantic to protect my work, my career. You won't get away with this, Vanna. Someone will come for me. But they won't, she said, her voice softer now. I've crafted a plan to make the others think that you've locked yourself in the library with strict instructions not to be bothered. We'll continue on the cruise, but only for a few more days. That should be long enough for the participants to be swayed by a new message that encourages them to eat and live however they please. You can't do that, I scoffed. You don't know how to make the recordings. Really? Vanna said, her voice even lower now. Who do you think made the recordings to convince Meghan that she's no longer allergic to peanut butter? Or Fiona that she could fly? I froze. It was you? Outside, Vanna chuckled. Don't act so surprised, Amelia. You aren't the only one with a brain around here. It's just that some of us don't have our heads buried so far in our work that we don't see what's going on around us. But 2 girls died because of you, I cried. No, Vanna replied. They died because of you. I gave you plenty of opportunities to turn the ship around, but no, you had to keep it going. Their deaths are on your head, Ames. But don't worry, it'll be our little secret. So the horrible signs truly had nothing to do with their deaths? I said, needing to know I'd been right about at least one piece of this disaster. Of course not. You said yourself, curses aren't real, Vanna cackled. I'd show you the little remote control clicker I've been carrying around in my pocket, but that would require me to open the door, and that's not going to happen until we get to land. It really is a brilliant little device, quite good at causing audio-visual equipment to go haywire. Worked better than I expected it to, just like me telling the captain about the siren's curse. I had no idea he'd turn around and share that tale with Harrison and the rest of the crew so quickly. Sabotaged by my closest confidant. I felt so stupid. But how did you know when to set off the sounds? Oh, I suspected Meghan was dead when the peanut butter packet I'd left near the milkshake station disappeared, and she failed to show up for the next morning's weigh-in. And if she took the peanut butter, that meant the messages I slipped to her and Fiona had sunk in. When I spied Fiona on the security cameras running in circles, I unleashed the sound, confident she was about to try and fly the coop. You won't get away with this, I snarled. Oh, but I will, and you'll be none the wiser. See, while you'll spend the next few days locked in that room, you'll be listening to another little message I created, something I made just for you. It will convince you that those deaths truly were accidents, and the study was an absolute failure. You may even choose a new career altogether after realizing how badly this one tanked. I spun to face the room that would be my prison for the foreseeable future and scanned the space, looking for anything to plug my ears and keep the message out. When had Vanna become such a monster? And what about you? I asked. Oh, don't worry about me, Vanna said. I'll be just fine, building my new life on an undisclosed island in the Caribbean, thanks to my new financial sponsors. And also thanks to you, of course. If you hadn't been so predictably stubborn, my role in all of this would not have been needed. She tapped on the door 3 times. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to the control room and let Harrison know the siren shriek finally drove you mad. It seems the curse was real after all. The end.
I betrayed my own man, my own Harrison. Too many red herrings, and I betrayed him.
It was subtle. Like, there wasn't a lot to point to Vanna. I think the only thing against Conley, really, was that he was just kind of bumbling stupid. Like, this was
He was. There was a lot of coincidences where he was involved with a lot of things.
He certainly was in the right place at the right times.
Yeah, as well as the stuff with the board. I do like that ending because it's very contemporary horror. It's very, and the big guys got away with it. That is such a contemporary theme right now.
Is it?
Yes.
Hear that, Kyra? You're contemporary.
Believe it or not. I mean, it was probably modern as well.
What's the difference between modern and contemporary?
We're not in the modern era anymore.
We're not.
No, we're in the contemporary era.
I,
I'm pretty sure. God, okay. Now that I say that out loud, I feel like I need to check myself.
Go ahead, check it.
Nah. Fine. I'll check it while you read the outro. I can do it with one hand. Wait.
Oh no, I got to
Wait.
What?
Fellas.
What?
Before we do anything.
What?
Now introducing Kyra Jacobs. Hello and welcome to the Mysteries to Die For interview hour. That's what I'm deciding to call it. I'm probably going to change it next week, but that's what it is for today at least. With today's author, Kyra Jacobs. Hello, Kyra. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, of course. It's so great to have you on. You are actually also the very first guest we've ever had on the podcast years and years ago.
Yes, and I had so much fun with that.
Yeah, so we thought we should drag you back. So I hope
Kicking
you
and
enjoy. It'll be
screaming.
fun. It'll be fun. So let's get started here. Now, you have tortured me multiple times over the years on this podcast by making my mom read light romance to me on a Tuesday afternoon. And as we heard in this story, you really like to put Easter eggs in your Mysteries to Die For stories just for me and TG. Now, I've also been told by TG quite recently that you've written a couple of these specifically with me in mind, whether you're trying to like amuse me or piss me off. How have you gotten so good at writing with one specific reader in mind?
I mean, Jack, you are one of my favorites, so I don't know what to say, but no, honestly, I love to be entertained and I love to entertain. So when I'm writing, I try to picture like how the reader or listener in this case is going to respond. And I have listened to so many of your podcasts and all your your musings and thinkings and how you're trying to game it sometimes.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
I'm like, ooh, so if I put this red herring here, what will Jack do with it?
You know
So,
just
and
how to annoy me.
you're
That's
welcome.
perfect. Oh, well, thank you. It is really unique, being able to have so many. This is you aren't the first author to do this, and well,
No.
actually, I think you are the first author to do this. We aren't the only author to do this, and it really gets annoying. I got to be honest. It's it's a lot, and I just wanna game it. Like I know how these work, and you won't let me.
I won't. I won't. Although, I did throw your Connolly
You did.
ancestry in there this time, and I was so excited that you picked it up, even though
Oh,
it sounds
it's
like
it's
TG
really
stared
hard to
right
miss,
at
don't
you.
worry. Connolly, at this point, I'll be, like, out in public, and I'll find someone named Connolly, and I'll just be like, "Oh my gosh, there's no way." Like, it's just in my mind all the time.
Well, anytime I hear it, I think of your character too. So,
Perfect. That's what I want as an author for my character to really
yeah,
do to its audience, is to make you
absolutely.
see my characters in your own life. We'll
I
pretend
love
like
it.
I'm that good of an author.
I absolutely, dude. You're there.
Sure, we'll pretend. Now, your body of works sits mostly in the romance genre. What challenges do you face kind of writing for the Mysteries to Die For, our series and our style?
Yeah, it's funny. My first two books were actually romantic suspense, and they really weren't even meant to be romantic
Hmm.
at the time. I was writing a suspense story, and I had a lot of fun writing the banter with the two main characters and the whole will they fall in love, won't they? And it just kind of evolved from there. So writing these shorts for Mysteries to Die For has been awesome because I feel like I'm kind of getting back to some of my early roots. And it's also like the coolest playground because I can come in and play with any set of characters in any mystery subgenre, and I'm growing and stretching my writing chops. I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. We always like to hear that we like do that to authors. And I think I talk about it almost every episode, how I'm like, I'm so happy how difficult we are to be. I love it. I love that.
Yes.
So one thing that I find romance novels really excel at is the world building aspect, and your settings have a very unique range across your whole body of works. Starting off, you have a collection of books written in the town of Bourbon Falls. What steps did you take to build this full, in-depth small community?
Well, with most of my contemporary romance, I'm a very visual learner, so I will legitimately go on Google Maps and I will find a small town near where I'm writing
Mm-hmm.
and literally use that town layout as the roadmap. But Bourbon Falls was special because when my kids were in travel soccer, we would pass the town of Bourbon, Indiana on the way to the Warsaw soccer fields.
Mm-hmm.
And I always remembered thinking, man, that'd be a really cool town to name a series after. So I dragged my mom along in the car one afternoon and I'm like, we're going to go check out Bourbon. And so we drove around and I found like the perfect setting for the bookstore and I was in the fire station and it was so cool. And I got out and I'm sure the town folks was like, what is this woman doing? Because I'm standing taking selfies on these empty roads. And I tell you what, though, if you're ever in Bourbon, they have the best pizza shop over there. So definitely
Yeah.
got to do that. Yeah,
Wow. You have two collections of fantasy romance series, which is
I
a
do.
genre famous for its world building, of course. So talk a little bit about the differences in developing like the setting and community in fantasy versus your series set in our world.
Yeah, and I think probably every author does this differently. I mean, everybody kind of comes up with their own process, but
Mm-hmm.
as much as I need to see a roadmap for like contemporary fiction, when I'm writing fantasy, I literally start with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I let the characters and the plot kind of create the world around me. And it's so liberating because you're making it up, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all fiction is you're making it up. That's kind of redundant, but you're building this whole world and there's no doing it wrong. Like
Yeah.
you're building it however you want, as long as when you write it, it's believable, right?
Uh-huh.
And there's not a bunch of like, well, wait, they're underwater. How can they be, driving a car? Things
Mm-hmm.
have to be logical for the readers, but fantasy is just totally different. And it's a nice palate cleanser
Mm-hmm.
to step away from contemporary sometimes and dive into the world of fantasy. Blue Manhattan was the most fun story I have ever written, and that's sort of set in the underbelly of Manhattan, New York,
Mm-hmm.
but it was so much fun. And
Wow.
I might be resurrecting some of those characters in next season's Mysteries to Die For.
Oh
Just saying.
yeah, a sneak peek. Wow, we're
Yeah.
getting some exclusive stuff here, folks. This is
Heck yeah.
impressive. This is important. And we'll have to alert the press. Now, your body of works covers mystery, romance, and fantasy. Is there a genre that's currently calling your name? And I know you kind of mentioned about resurrecting those fantasy characters.
I was kind of afraid you'd ask me that. They're all calling to me right now.
Yeah.
I have been dabbling in probably, I don't even know, half a dozen different stories. And I've got a couple stories that I had written and set aside. So I'm just kind of poking at each one a little bit and waiting to see which one kind of holds my attention.
Which one
So
sticks?
yeah,
Awesome.
exactly.
Well, we're going to end on a fun one here. So, if you could write a story starring any person in history, any genre, what person and what genre would it be?
You, dude, I am so bad at history. And I'm gonna have to just throw a wild card here and say we're gonna do something fun and crazy.
Hmm.
Like it'd be like Cleopatra's favorite cat, maybe a satirical memoir.
Hmm. Okay. Very interesting. When I was coming up with the example, I picked like a very generic one and it was George Washington. And then it was funny to me, no matter what genre you picked, it was hilarious. George
Oh
Washington
yeah.
romance, a
Oh
George
jeez.
Washington fantasy, or a George Washington mystery. Either way, it's just the stupidest. I love it. I love it.
I mean George Washington horror could be really,
Oh my gosh. You're
really
right.
interesting.
I didn't even think about. We'll make that a film. He's got to
Yeah.
be like
Yeah.
copyright free by now, right? It's been long
I think
enough.
so.
It's been
I'm
four score and
sure.
some many
I'm
years.
sure. His
Something
his
like it.
wooden teeth could be weapons.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, his wooden teeth could be like massive. It would be cool. You could just have like parts of tree in his face. Okay, we'll
Oh,
we'll
dude,
workshop
we'll
this
write that
later.
together.
Yes, this is important. Now, to end off here, do you have any projects that you're currently working on or are releasing soon?
As I mentioned, I've got, I'm dabbling in some drafts right now, but as far as new releases coming out, I've actually gotten the rights back to a few of my earlier books. So I am prepping those to re-release, hopefully in the coming months.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. This was absolutely fun.
Oh, I had so much fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, of course, and we'll probably have you back someday. Let's be honest. Well,
Oh,
eventually we're gonna have to circle back, and you'll probably be first on the rerun list. I'll be
hey,
honest.
my hope is that I get to read one of TG's stories one of these days.
Oh, that can be arranged. We can do that.
I would love
We set it
that.
at the right place at the right time. Awesome. Well, listeners, thank you so much for listening. And now, because TG kind of screwed up the intro, as you kind of heard, and you're about to hear the argument we had from it, here is the rest of the episode. Goodbye.
Ta-da! Well, wait, do you want me to read her
No, I
little...
already did it. She's gone.
But I have the
No,
intro.
they're gone. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Okay, so you just had a awesome conversation with our friend Kyra Jacobs, who is an introverted extrovert. No, wait. An extroverted introvert who has always called Indiana home. Growing up in the Midwest means she's well-versed in fickle weather, pork tenderloins that don't fit a bun, and sarcasm. Fueled by caffeine and funny memes, she weaves She weaves humor, thank you, Jack, and chaos into her stories, which range from sweet romance to mysteries and even fantasies. Stop by KyraJacobsBooks.com to learn more about her novels, her backlist, and ways to connect with Kyra on social media. So, I know many mystery readers cross over into other genres. So if you are a sweet romance lover, Kyra has several series that really are fun to read, heartwarming, small town mysteries, small town romances. So check those out. I do like the Cowboy series, which was promoted at the start of this in the pre-roll. That is the I should have had the series name in here. But the most recent...
Sticky.
What?
Sticky. Aren't we serious name? Isn't
No, Kyra.
Kyra. I'm so bad at this.
I think it's the Montana Miles series. So the Rodeo Cowboys Redemption. Pretty cool story. I really enjoyed it. Check it out. Have you looked up what you're looking up yet?
Yeah, so we are in the contemporary era. We are indeed. Often starting around 1945 after World War II or 1950s, right up to present day.
It's like 100 years we've been in the era.
I'm going to be honest. I really thought modern happened in that. I thought modern came after, at that point, and that contemporary started like within the last 30 years. So clearly I'm wrong on this.
I'm looking it up too because this is now bothering me. What era are we?
The modern era or modern period is the current historical epoch that follows the Middle Ages.
I don't know. We must look up different stuff because I got what geological era we're in.
Oh. Yes,
wait. So it says geologically we're in the Cenozoic era in geology, the contemporary or modern age in history, and the information age or digital age in technology. Goodness.
Okay. What I see says early modern period is from 15 to 1800, and the late modern period is from 1800 to 1945, and 1945 to present is contemporary. But honestly, I really thought the modern era was like the 50s through like the 70s.
Does that mean we're going to have to come up with a new word that's even more modern than modern? Because I would have thought contemporary was older than modern.
I think modern still works for what we mean it to be. I think it's just less technically correct. And contemporary is more talking about the time.
I think we're going to end up starting over again. We're going to go to the alpha era.
I have no idea. We're going to go back to prehistoric.
I can't go to prehistoric. Can we go post-historic?
Oh, we can go post-historic. But that means we have to stop doing histor.
Oh.
Yeah, that means we have to die. There can be no historic.
So far down the rabbit hole. We need to pull this one back. That wraps up this rambling episode of Mysteries to Die For. Support our show by subscribing, telling a mystery lover about us, or joining a membership. Check out our website, m2d4podcast.com, for links to this season's authors, which goes to their websites and also their other episodes. Mysteries to Die For is hosted by TG and Jack Wolff. The Curse of the Siren Shriek was written by Kyra Jacobs. Music and production are by Jack Wolff. Episode art is by moi, TG Wolff. Join us next week for a toe tag, which is the first chapter from a fresh release in the mystery crime or thriller genre, and then come back in 2 weeks for our next original story, where mechanical is our sticky means of murder. It's Fatal Crush by Jason Little. All right, Jack, take us out.